Thank you, Travis. Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin in Barbados. Prime Minister Mia Mottley is so concerned about the European Union's blacklisting of Barbados as a non-cooperative tax jurisdiction that she is prepared to travel to Europe and meet with high-level officials to deal with the matter. Prime Minister Mottley said the blacklisting issue was one of her biggest headaches, as she highlighted how hard Barbados had to work to get the economy back on track and improve its various systems. Mottley said it was necessary to settle the issue so that the European Union and Barbados could work together on other critical matters such as the climate crisis, data privacy, and human rights. Barbados made required changes to its tax exchange framework by December 2019, but did not meet the deadline of the Global Forum of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) for the July 2015 to June 2018 review period. As a result, the Global Forum placed the island on its list of, and I quote, partially compliant, end of quote, jurisdiction earlier this year. The European Union subsequently placed Barbados on its list of, and I quote, non-cooperative jurisdiction for tax purposes, end of quote, and kept the country there when it issued its latest list in early October. We continue in St. Kitts and Nevis. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis has made a decision to cancel the $11 million debt owed to the Federation by LIAT, the Caribbean airline. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris said that the debt relief was made following a request by the liquidator. According to its Facebook page, LIAT is currently under administration and is being restructured following a decision by the government of Antigua and Barbuda to reorganize the airline. Prime Minister Harris said that the decision considered the, and I quote, ill health, end of quote, of the regional carrier. He added that it also reaffirms St. Kitts and Nevis' commitment to regional integration and regional travel. United States President-elect Joe Biden has appointed a Caribbean national to a top communications post in his incoming administration. In an all-female senior communications team at the White House, Biden has named Karine Jean-Pierre, 43, who was born in Martinique, to Haitian nationals as the new Deputy White House Press Secretary. Jean-Pierre previously served as Vice President-elect Senator Kamala Harris's Chief of Staff during her campaign as a U.S. vice presidential candidate. Harris, a U.S. Senator from California, is the daughter of an Indian mother and a Jamaican father. Biden and Harris said the all-female communications team is aimed at bringing, and I quote, diverse perspectives, end of quote, to the White House. Biden said in a statement that the team comprises, and I quote, qualified, experienced communicators, end of quote, who will, and I quote, bring diverse perspectives to their work and a shared commitment to building this country back better, end of quote. Harris said the team will communicate clearly, honestly, and transparently as the U.S. grapples with the coronavirus pandemic and a series of other crises. I quote, I am profoundly honored to be the principal deputy press secretary for Joe Biden, end of quote, said Jean-Pierre in a tweet. Jean-Pierre, who was raised in Queens, New York, served as a senior advisor to the Joe Biden 2020 presidential campaign. Her professional experience has ranged broadly from presidential campaigns to grassroots activism to local politics to working in the White House. Jean-Pierre, who is the Chief Public Affairs Officer for the liberal MoveOn.org and an NBC and MSNBC political analyst, previously served as the Deputy Campaign Manager for Martin O'Malley for president. And finally, the United Kingdom has become the first Western nation to approve a COVID-19 vaccine, a landmark moment in the coronavirus pandemic that paves the way for the first doses to be rolled out across the country next week. I quote, help is on the way, end of quote, Health Secretary Matt Hancock announced Wednesday morning after United Kingdom regulators granted emergency authorization for a vaccine made by U.S. pharma giant Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech. The United Kingdom has ordered 40 million doses of the vaccine, enough to vaccinate 20 million people. Hancock told the BBC that an initial 800,000 doses will be available in the United Kingdom next week, and I quote, will then deploy it at the speed that it's manufactured, end of quote, by Pfizer and its facilities in Belgium. The bulk of the rollout will come next year. The announcement means the United Kingdom has vaulted past the United States and European Union in the race to approve a vaccine months into a pandemic that has killed almost 1.5 million people worldwide. Pfizer Chief Executive Officer Albert Borla hailed the emergency authorization as a, and I quote, historic moment in the fight against COVID-19, end of quote. And that is all for your regional news. Thank you so much for joining. Back to you, Travis.